Episode 16 of Print and Paint. Today I'm doing the Kunoichi from Blood Orange Mini. I'm on my mini factory and that's quite a nice model, so let's do it. So this one is in one piece together, like even the base is not separate, which is a little bit annoying, but if you angle it from the back and just place your support wisely, you'll be fine. Here the back of the head was a bit like annoying, but the print came out fine anyway, so just some patience. Okay, that's it for the print. Everything came out pretty nicely. I had a couple of touch-ups to do, but I've done a good job on the support, I think. I upscaled the model a little bit, so it's a bit taller, but there is more detail, so that's good. I broke the sword already, so just moving around, I'm gonna have to be careful. I just glued it back and it's pretty nice now. I'm just gonna have to be careful. Let's paint. Okay, so here I've decided to prime the mini black. I should have done a zenithal highlight. I wanted to keep the theme kind of dark, but it's quite tough to go over black sometimes, especially for the skins. But that's fine. I've tried and I've done a good job anyway. So here I start with the skin. The skin tone is pretty light for now, but I'm gonna darken everything a bit after. I've used some wash. One time I've used like a sepia wash and then I went over and redone some highlights. So for the cloth and the legging, like the kimono and the legging, I wanted to keep them dark with some highlight and bluish highlight like I'm doing now. So I'm trying to get my feeling right now and see where my light are gonna hit. And then the plan was to dry brush some black after. So that's what I'm doing, and the result is fine, but it's not perfect. Later on I was not super happy with it. I went over and I've redone some highlights on the legging and everything, but there is place for improvement. For the rope here, the belt, I'm just using some dark blue and some high blue for the highlight, and those rope in red here, so they are tightening the belt and this part of the legging here. I'm just coming over with some highlights. I'm using copper for those kind of hanging bell. I don't think they're bell, but they are like metal thing hanging from the ropes. So I'm using copper, and then I'm using a bit of purple to add some color on the kimonos here, the top kimono. So this part coming around here, I'm just using purple. I start on the eyes. I'm going slowly, I don't want to mess up too much. But no matter what, you always come back. You're going slow and you're gonna mess up and come back with some skin to cover the white, some white to recover over the skin. Here I'm stabbing the pupil in black, I'm trying to get the eyes right. Don't forget the eyebrow. Always important to get the face right, I think. I'm using red again, like mostly magenta red for the umbrella. I'm gonna go over with a lot of different coat and washes and everything. Here, as you can see, I've redone, so the kimono and the legging, I've redone them, but this time I've dry brushed the color on top. Instead of keeping the thing dark with black, I've dry brushed this kind of gray, bluish gray. And as you can see, the sword is not here anymore as well, so that's the second time that I broke it, and I decided, okay, that's fine, let's just keep it apart for now and finish the main body. I'm going over again with the reds. I'm using again magenta and normal red, kind of like bloody red. it was quite tough to go here between like the underside of the umbrella behind the head was really tough to access. I wish the umbrella would have come apart. I'm giving some volume, some highlight on the hair here. So I keep the color black, but I'm just going over with again like bluish, whitish colors and giving some highlight. Time to glue the sword again. So I'm gonna try to go with non-metallic metal again. This time I'm gonna use again some like cold gray, really blue gray. I looked some model online. I tried to see what some people came out with, and I know most of the time the goal is to have one side. If one side is like the light color, the opposite is black. So that's what I went for here. The middle of the sword is really bright and shiny, and on top of it, it's darker. And I'm just going over with my colors and trying to blend everything together. And here I'm going to finish with the base. I start with some kind of gravel on some side. I'm going to paint them brown, a bit like dirt, kind of gravel and dirt mixed together. Then I dry brush over. I use a couple of colors just to make it a bit more interesting, some like gray, brownish. And then after some of the biggest like kind of gravel popping out, I paint them in gray. And I use a bit of wash in some places, just to have some interest on it. And I fill the gap, everything else, with just some grass. That's it for the Kunoichi. This one gave me a bit of a hard time. I didn't give up, like you saw in the video. I've tried to come back to, for example, like the clothes and the skin. So after a couple of times, I've redone it until I was happy. In terms of like the final style, I'm not really as close as I would have liked. Like the idea that I had in mind was a bit different. I wanted something dark with some color popping around, but I couldn't manage to find a technique to finalize everything. So I still did my best, and I think that's a fine piece. I'm still happy with it, but definitely wish I could have done better. But that's okay. We're here to learn and try again. So see you next time.